Psalm 97, The Lord reigns in majesty and justice. Psalm 97 is a bold and poetic celebration of the sovereign reign of God, emphasizing His majesty, judgment, justice, holiness, and the joy experienced by the righteous. It fits within a group of Psalms, 93 to 100, that repeatedly affirm the powerful truth, the Lord reigns. This declaration calls for reverence and rejoicing across all the earth, signaling God's absolute authority over creation. The psalm opens with a powerful announcement, "The Lord reigns, let the earth rejoice." This establishes God's universal reign, not as a local or limited deity but as the sovereign ruler over the entire world, including the distant coastlands or islands. The imagery of clouds and darkness surrounding God evokes the mystery and holiness associated with His appearances, such as at Mount Sinai, underscoring that His presence is both awe-inspiring and unapproachable. Despite this overwhelming majesty, God's reign is grounded in righteousness and justice, distinguishing His rule from arbitrary or corrupt power. The psalmist uses cosmic imagery, fire, lightning, trembling earth, and melting mountains, to depict God's glory and might. These natural phenomena symbolize that no earthly or supernatural force can withstand His authority. Moreover, the heavens declare His righteousness, highlighting that all of creation testifies to God's justice and glory, a truth that all peoples will witness, whether in awe or fear. The next section addresses the futility of idolatry and the exaltation of Zion. Those who serve carved images are called to shame because false gods are powerless before the true God. The command for all you gods to worship Him may be understood as a poetic challenge to these impotent idols or as a call for angelic beings and spiritual powers to submit to Yahweh. Meanwhile, Jerusalem, Zion, and Judah rejoice because God's judgments bring justice and vindication to His people. The psalm concludes this section by affirming that God is exalted far above the entire earth and all other gods, highlighting the uniqueness and supremacy of His sovereignty. The final verses speak directly to the righteous, urging them to respond morally to God's reign. Those who love the Lord are called to hate evil, aligning their lives with the justice God embodies. Far from being a distant or indifferent ruler, God actively protects and cares for His people, preserving the souls of His saints. The psalm uses poetic language to describe blessings for the righteous, saying that light is sown for them, symbolizing joy, guidance, and favor that will grow and flourish. The psalm closes with a call to rejoice, give thanks, and remember God's holy name, emphasizing His character and identity as the foundation for worship and celebration. Several key themes run through Psalm 97. The psalmist's central message is that God reigns supreme over all creation. His coming is both glorious and fearsome, as it brings justice and exposes sin. False worship is condemned, while true worship belongs only to God. The joy of the righteous stems from God's just rule and protection, and this joy manifests in lives marked by moral integrity. The psalm also stresses the universal scope of God's reign, as all nations, the heavens, and even nature itself respond to His sovereignty. The New Testament reflects on Psalm 97, particularly in Hebrews 1 verse 6, where verse 7 is quoted, "Let all the angels of God worship Him." This highlights the psalm's messianic dimension, pointing to Jesus Christ as the divine King worshipped even by angels. Psalm 97 as a whole anticipates Christ's second coming, when He will return with glory, power, and justice, bringing final judgment and establishing His everlasting reign. In summary, Psalm 97 is a powerful declaration of God's majestic and righteous reign. It warns against idolatry and calls the righteous to moral faithfulness. The earth, creation, and all peoples are urged to tremble before, worship, and rejoice in the Lord, who rules justly and will judge all things rightly in the fullness of time.
Psalm 97, The Lord reigns. Let the earth rejoice, let the multitude of isles be glad. Clouds and darkness surround Him. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of His throne. A fire goes before Him, and burns up His enemies round about. His lightnings light the world. The earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The heavens declare His righteousness, and all the people see His glory. Let all be put to shame who serve carved images, who boast of idols. Worship him, all you gods. Zion hears and is glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoice because of your judgments, O Lord. For you, Lord, are most high above all the earth. You are exalted far above all gods. You who love the Lord hate evil. He preserves the souls of his saints. He delivers them out of the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord, you righteous, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holy name.